What's going on, everybody? Good evening to you. It's a nice sunny day here in Ottawa, Canada. It is 21 degrees Celsius. Not rainy and gloomy like the other days, but it is a little on the cool and windy side, that's for sure. I still see that some of the folks got all their legs popped out there, so still a lot of people are in shorts, which is great. But we're getting down to the it's about to start getting a little cool. Now I'm known to wear shorts in the dead of winter, but like nothing's going on. There's no wind. I was down by High Falls Conservation Area in the morning yesterday, I think, or day before yesterday in the morning, and that wind was killing me. I need to get some gloves and stuff. That's what I need to do, because the fingers were just, I was holding the pen in my hand, and I was like, I'm writing, I can see me writing, but I can't feel my fingers. So I had to go get in the car and put my hands on what my mom would call the steering wheel, but she's from the South. She makes up her own words and stuff. But speaking of that, I will not ever have a car that doesn't have heated steering, or heated seats, or heated mirrors, or heated anything, you know? So that's how we have to go. My car is even kept in a heated garage, for crying out loud. Hey, but I love the wintertime and stuff. But enough of me yakking there. Enough of me. What's going on, Devin? What's going on, Steve? Enough of me yakking. Let me see if there's anybody on Simplex here. We're going to get started with the Drive at 5. Hit that Simplex first. If nobody's on Simplex, we'll do the repeaters. And it's 5:21 here. I think it takes me about 45 minutes to get to that place that I'm going tonight. I'm about 300 and something contacts away from 1,000 QSOs. I wish you could say what frequency you're going to be on before you get there, but that's impossible. What I will be doing tonight is I will be timing to see how long it takes me to get set up from the time I pull into the parking lot until the time I'm on the air. So it's not a race or anything, but you know, sometimes you don't have a lot of time, and I get about 2 hours, I guess, about 2 hours of time to get out there and do the stuff before it gets too late. Sometimes I arrive at these parks at 7 o'clock at night because I have an hour and something drive from work, so I'll get there at 7 and I'll stay till 9, sometimes 10, but most of the time it was taking me 30 plus almost 40 minutes to set up. I had an infrared half wave with me, so every time I would go to a new park, I had to scope it out, look at the trees, see how I was going to launch my antenna launcher. Like that was a lot of time just doing that. And then you have to get the coax all, you know, all strung out. You got to get all the rope and stuff for the, you know, the pull antenna up, all that stuff done. So to tear down and put together with an infrared half wave at a new park, because I was going just to new places at first before I decided to do this 1,000 thing, it was taking about 30 minutes, a good 30 minutes to get everything set up. The antenna plus the radio, a good 30 minutes there. So now I have a vertical, and it's cut the time down, but we're going to see tonight, because I'm going to pull in, I'm going to run out, set up the camera, and then I'm going to go start dragging stuff out and see how long it takes, because if we are in an emergency situation, you know, how long will it really take me to get up on there and get everything working? So we shall see. And then I want to hear from you guys how long it usually takes you to get up, because you know we like some conveniences. We like to have the laptops, and we like to have the this and that. And I'm going to be setting up the laptop too, not just paper, pen, radio, cable, and antenna. That should take no time. But you know, we have our cell phones with us, we have our charging stuff with us, and different things like that. So I want to see how long that's going to take to get all that stuff set up. Okay, enough of that. Let's get on here and see who's on Simplex. This is Victor Alpha 3 Echo Whiskey Victor VA3EWV mobile. Anyone on frequency? Over.
VA3EWV Victor Echo 3 Oscar Tango Whiskey.
Victor Echo 3 Oscar Tango Whiskey. Jonathan, good afternoon, good evening to you.
Well, good afternoon to you, Ernest. Good afternoon, good evening to you. It's about 5:30, so I guess, yes, it's appropriate for a good evening. Wonderful weather outside, goodness, just came in, and it's been quite lovely out there, so hopefully the commute back treats you well, and all things considered, things are good. How about yourself? How are things on your end?
Well, I would like to say that I'm in traffic for the first time. I'm in traffic for the first time that I can remember heading out of town. Never seen traffic heading out of town. I've seen some slowdowns come from the other side there, and it looks like it's backed up way down the road, probably backed up past the split there. It says to get to Blair Road right now, up ahead on the overhead, it says 23 minutes just to get to Blair Road. Usually, when I'm talking to you, I'm almost at Castleman within 23 to 30 minutes there. Not Castleman, but Calypso, they're over.
Oh, wow. It sounds like there's quite a bit of congestion out there. But, yeah, I guess you have to hang in there and make the best of it. But, yeah, I guess, easy does it. And, the rush hour is coming back. And I think there's more people on the road, I think the public servants are back 3 days a week now. So I'm sure there'll be a lot more congestion on the streets, but you just have to hang in there and stay cool.
Yeah, you're right too. Yes, it is the first week back. I still was thinking that most of the government, well, from what I've seen, because I work over there downtown on 160 Elgin, and for the most part, the whole summer, there was hardly anybody come to work on Mondays and Fridays, right? They're doing all their Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I'm going to say this, but I kind of know it for a fact. It's not hearsay. Pretending to work on Mondays and Fridays. Pretending. I'm just going to go out there and say it, because I've seen it with my own eyes. So they claim to be working a 5-day work week, but they're not. I know they're not, because I can see the stuff, what they're doing. Anyway, we're going to go on past that. That's not the point of this discussion today. I'm just saying, though, they're back now. You can kind of tell, and restaurants are filling up, parking lots are filling up. We have traffic here. I'm not even past Saint Laurent yet, so you know it's on. But it's a good, smooth thing. I don't hear any horns blowing and stuff like that. So hopefully it's a nice ride on out of town there. Back over to you.
QSL there, yeah. Hopefully it's a smooth ride back for you, and yeah, as long as there isn't any accidents or anything like that. As I said, you stay cool in the mobile, and you'll be good to go. It's a bit of a hot one out there. This morning I think it was like 7 degrees, 8 degrees. It was pretty cool, but it warmed up very quickly. It's nice and hot out there now. So as long as you stay nice and cool, I think you'll be good. So easy does it, and hopefully you'll get home safely. Ernest, have you been on the HF bands lately? Man, oh man, 10 meters has been on fire the last few days. Hopefully you're taking advantage.
We heard somebody there in the background. Go ahead. Jonathan, did you hear that station in the background as well, or no?
I can call again. If there's anybody out there, feel free to come in. This is Victor Echo 3 Oscar Tango Whiskey with VA3EWV. No copy. I didn't hear anybody hear this. Yeah, it's as I said, 10 meters. Goodness, it's been on fire the last few days. 12 meters as well too, but 10 as well. So hopefully you're taking advantage of these hot conditions. Fall time is back, and so is 10 meters.
Well, I heard friends of mine say, "Hey, look, get on 10." So I did 20. Believe it or not, I've been just hanging out on 40 meters. So I did 20 for the first time this weekend, believe it or not, and I did almost 100 or so Qs. No, not 100. I went early in the morning there, right? Some early activation, and I got about 80 contacts. About 20 of them were on 20. The rest were on 40. But I usually just work on 40. That's all I've been operating on was 40. So I got my feet wet with 20, and I was like, wow, I can do this. So that was kind of cool. And then on Sunday, when I was listening to either the ProComNet or the TransCanadaNet, one or the other, that's the beautiful thing of having two radios and multiple antennas. So on my UHF VHF radio, I was listening to on my UHF VHF, I was listening to the ProComNet, and then on the HF radio, I was doing FT8 there. Over.
Well, very good, Ernest. I'll give you a tidbit here. When 10 meters is open, when your friends say go on 10 meters, you go on 10 meters, Ernest. None of this 20 meters excuse. All joking aside, the band opening is quite limited. The summertime, there's a lot of atmospheric noise, so once the fall comes around, 10 meters will start opening up again. But with not much power, you can get into Australia, Japan. The world is your oyster, Ernest. Speaking of unmentionable things, you know, it's not unheard of for people to call in sick at the office when 10 meters is open. It's that big of a deal. When your friends say get on 10 meters, Ernest, that's an order. You got to take advantage while the conditions last.
Hey, and speaking of that, like I said, I did 10 on FT8, and I've never done 10 on FT8. The antenna tuned really nicely to it, and I was sitting there working the station. I sat up in my chair because I forget what country, but I never got that country before. And I took a picture and I put it on my website. But I worked like 15 or so different contacts there, and not a soul was in North America at all. Everybody was like, these are places I've never gotten before. A lot of Italy. I've never seen so many Italy contacts in all my life than on Sunday. So Italy, Portugal, I forget all the rest of them, but I was like, whoa. And nothing from stateside. I've been only getting stateside contacts the whole time I've gotten a few odd, one here, one there. But my whole QRZ page, if you look at it, VA3EWV on QRZ, you'll see that whole patch of something like 20 contacts, there was nothing in Canada or the US or even over in, because I can get a lot of, sometimes you get South America down below us, but I was just blown away. I was like, what? And then I had to go eat supper. But yeah, I'm going to go back and try that. Are y'all still having open conditions on it or no? Back over to you. What's going on there, Aaron?
As mentioned, you got to jump on those conditions while they last, and it's usually only during daylight hours, by the time you get back, you can check, but
I'm doing some
by the time
simplex.
you get back, 10 meters will probably be closed. You'll have to check again early in the morning. But the skip will be too much when the conditions are open like that. You probably won't be able to do any North American contacts unless it's ground plane. Actually, works one of the locals here yesterday on 10 meters CW. So you could do a ground plane, or ground wave, I should say. But the skip is going to be so much that it's going to be nothing but DX. And when the band is open, that's just how it is. So you got to take advantage of it while it lasts. And when it's open, it's open. And that's when all the interesting contacts come in. And it's exactly like you said, Ernest. Ooh, I never worked this country before. Ooh, I never worked that country before. That's how 10 meters is. Welcome to DX, Ernest.
Well, shoot, not only that, I hadn't even, like me being brand new, well, I have to quit saying new, but 1 year is not a lot. I couldn't even recognize, I was like, is this a real call sign? Because I'm starting to hear different call signs. Because I've heard the W8s and the Ks, And Pennsylvania, PA, it seems like every time I go do Parks on Air, if I got 100 contacts, 77 of them are from Pennsylvania. You know, that place comes in with no problem. So it makes me giggle when I see people out there that say they're trying to work all 50 states. And they're like, I still got Pennsylvania to get in another place because they can't get it for nothing. And that's all I get is Pennsylvania call signs there. Over.
It depends on which band it is. If you want to work Pennsylvania, you probably won't get them on 20 meters. The skip will be too much. If you want Pennsylvania, you have to stick to the lower bands. Try 80 meters. You'll probably have better luck. Even 60 meters, you'll probably be able to get them. But the skip between 20 and even 40, you're not those close places like Vermont, Pennsylvania. They're going to be very difficult on those bands. So if you're trying to get the contact on that particular band, I would say good luck. And it might be a while before you make contact again. But if you just want to make the contact for the sake of making the contact for the state, yeah, you have to do 80 meters or it's just too close. The skip isn't going to cut it.
Well, I'm saying that's the opposite for me. For me, with that Shelligans vertical, it's a MC7 something or another. I'll get the name of it. But that's all I get is Pennsylvania stations. That's what I'm saying. I have no lack of Pennsylvania stations. That's all I'm getting is Pennsylvania. They come in louder than anything else. And then I might get one Texas here and there. I've gotten to Louisiana 4 times now, so that's pretty exciting. You know, so it's but you know what though? I stopped bringing the end-fed halfway with me. I need to start bringing that back out again, but it's so long to get it put up. I'll post it at vertical there. It's nothing to it. It's 3 things that you screw together. You stick it in the ground, and you don't even have to tune that sucker. I mean, I got under 1.5 SWR. It just works. So, you know, anyway, I was going to say, before I forget, I went to my first powwow this weekend. That was a good time. I've never been to one. They had it down there on the river there in Cornwall, and oh my God, it was something else. I was pretty stoked by the time I left it. We're over there for about 5 hours there. Over.
VA3EWV Mobile, Victor Echo 3, Oscar Tango Whiskey returning. Well, I'm very good. I'm just glad you had fun at the powwow there. They have the big one here during the solstice. They have the big one here in Ottawa. And they have a few scattered throughout the summer. But yeah, if they did something locally there, well, that's good on you, Ernest. And yeah, it's quite the sight to see for sure, especially if you've never been before. That's great that you're able to take it in there. But yeah, I guess with the only other suggestion I could give for the antenna is possibly maybe change the orientation. You might have to point it a different way to see if you can get something beside Pennsylvania. But be patient, Ernest, because we're rolling into fall time, so the propagation is going to change. So you'll probably get more than just Pennsylvania. I'm sure you'll get some other states too.
Yeah, so tonight I'm going out there. As a matter of fact, I'm heading there now. I'm trying to they have an award for 1,000 QSOs at the same park. And I'm about 288 away. I average at least 100 QSOs per time I go out, and I'm usually out for 2 hours. So it's usually like 50 contacts an hour is about what I'm averaging now. So we will see what is happening. We'll see what happens tonight. I'm thinking it'll take me three more opportunities to go out. I'm ready to go to some new parks though. I was doing like one new park because, you know, all the stuff in Ottawa. I'm very confident with that Shelligans now though, that vertical setting it up. So I shouldn't have any problems in some of those parks and some of those places that the radio, you know, like the radio cable antenna and the notebook to take the you know, write everything down. So hopefully I can get that under 15 minutes there.
Oh, well, very good. Yeah, as I said, you know, a lot of the parks here downtown, quote-unquote parks, their NTC property, but they have yet to be activated, or they've only been activated a small handful of times. Apartment Hill, Central Chambers. We've discussed them before. So now is your opportunity, and I've warned the locals here. On one of the nets, I said, "Watch out! Ernest is on the prowl. He's out for blood. Watch out for that guy." So the locals have been warned, and there's a lot of parks up for grabs. So it's still a game now, Ernest. I gave fair warning, so it's all up to you now. It's in your hands.
Hey, it's gonna be on like a chicken bone. I can tell you that. I don't know if they can say those kind of rhymes here on ham radio, but I'm telling you, once I get this 1,000 in the back pocket, it's going to be. I've already talked to the wife. I've already moved a lot of stuff around. So on Monday evenings, I have cleared my whole schedule that I'll get off work, and I bought me a wagon from Amazon. It folds up, nice and neat as cloth. So I have a little small go box. With everything in there, and I have the antenna and the coax. That's it, and a chair and a table. And I'm telling you, they better watch out. Hey, look, I snuck up on them for August. I got the email from Ante last night. I came in 4th overall for the month of August for that outside activity thing there. So 4th. And I'm just starting to get on HF, so you know what time it is. Back over to you.
Well, very good. It is. Congratulations. I'll have to let Ante know. Actually, speaking of Ante, it was him I contacted yesterday on 10 meters CW. Ante seems to pop up quite frequently in these conversations. But yes, I worked him last night on CW 10 meters, and try taking advantage of the wonderful conditions we've been having on the upper band. So next time I speak to him, either CW or VHF, UHF, I will let him know that that you have sent your application and you're on the prowl for these Porta Parks and all these other VAC awards. So you're going to give him a run for his money. Goodness, he's only a volunteer, but you're going to rack up all these RAC awards. Goodness, they'll run out of paper once they're done with you, Ernest.
I'm telling you, they better go invest in some ink, some of those refillable tanks. This is going to be on, I'm telling you. Hey, look, that's not bad. I came in, you see and it was Ante or somebody told me about it, because if it wasn't for that, I'd have been doing all this stuff in vain. I didn't even know this stuff was going on. And you know what, though? I actually promoted, too. I had a couple of my kids, they were like, "Oh, why are you telling all these people about it?" Because a lot of these guys are retired. They can probably pull ahead of you. I'm like, it's all fun. They need a challenge. And even though they're retired, I'm going out once a week. And I told my wife tonight, I'm like, hey, I might not even come home until I get that 277. So it could be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Shoot. I'm gonna, hey, look, I'm getting so much better at, anyway, I'm sitting there saying call signs. I'm like, did you say A, B, C, D, E, F, G? And they're like, QSL. And I'm like, how in the world did I hear that? I'm getting so good at that. And then running pile-ups, like I'm taking care of that like it's nobody's business. I park 5 to the side and just go down the list. Bam, 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 bam. And I'm like, was that me? So, I'm telling you, man, they better get some ink and paper. That's all I got to tell you. Back over to you.
Very good. It's really good. I'll let Ante know the next time I speak to him that he better second think his volunteer position, because you're going to probably be half his workload high. Just making out all those awards. But yeah, that's great. That's great. And Iraqi, RAQI, the Quebec equivalent, they have some awards as well too. They have a Work Dollar Regions Award for Quebec. So you'll have to check your log there, Ernest, because there's also Rocky Awards that you can accumulate as well. So It's not just RAC. There's different bodies that have different awards. POTA, RACI, RAQ, RAC. So it's just whatever you're into. You have to investigate which award you're into. CQ World. They have their awards, and some are quote unquote more prestigious than others. But it's whatever you fancy, Ernest. That's half the fun of the hobby. You just have to something and stick to it.
Yep, this is my practice right now. I'm doing on-the-job training, baby. I'm doing on-the-job training. I tell you, Winter Field Day, that's going to be something. I have hosted 2 field days at my house. The first year I was a ham, I got my license in January there, but I didn't have HF privileges. So I hosted and everything. I had the 2 acres there, and that was lovely. This past year I hosted again. Still didn't have HF privileges. No, I sure didn't. Yeah, no, I didn't. So still didn't have it. Was a little shy and stuff like that. But I'm telling you, when field day comes around again, I already know what time it's going to be. I'm going to be doing HF on one side of my mouth, and I'm going to be doing other stuff on the other side of my mouth. I'm going to be doing Duolingo, talking on both sides, out of each side of my mouth. It's going to be on a mic in each hand, a foot pedal, and a headset with 2 booms, and I'm going to be racking and stacking in there. Come on.
Well, you don't have to contact them multiple times. I think clocks available too. So it's not just the paper. You might have to clear a trophy shelf there, Ernest. I think you'll need it. Once you go through all those awards, goodness, you'll have to have the trophy shelf or probably the trophy wall. To be honest, goodness, you're going through these awards left and right. So I have noticed that. Winter Field Day, the clubs are going to be in for a run for their money for sure. A lot of clubs here, they don't even participate in Winter Field Day. I know Iroquois does, and I know your club does, Ernest. I think Manotick might this year. There's only a few clubs that participate in Winter Field Day. So you'll have the leg up, Ernest. You'll have advantage. Most of the competition will be staying at home.
Well, our club does not do Winter Field Day. I went to Iroquois Winter Field Day with a buddy of mine. So he said to me, his name is Simon. I forget his call sign off the top of my head, but he wanted to go to the Winter Field Day. So I drove to Iroquois with him, and I sat there and I logged, right? Because I wasn't trying to get on the radio. But it's going to be a different thing. Anyway, I'm starting to lose you there. I'm going to get ready to get my mind set up here for the stuff tonight. So I'll be letting you go there, Jonathan, VA3EWV on your final. VA3EWV mobile. I hope I didn't lose them already. Uh-oh.
All right, Ernest, very good. Well, if I'm dropping out, it is what it is, but very good. Nice speaking to you again, as always, and glad to hear about the awards that you're rocking up. And I'll say no. I know I've been so to you, but have a great day, and we'll talk again for sure. And the CF Theaters is open tonight. You might make it back in time, but you'll be kind of closer to VA3EWV Coach Oscar Tango Whiskey 73. You're mistaken.
7-3, and I'm looking at the sign Calypso Park. So it never fails us. I know